Hello, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Happy Monday, the 16th of October 2023. Owen Jennings here, your spiritual guide, coming in with the channeled energies of the week, starting from today until Sunday or thereabouts, the 22nd of October. And the reason I do this is to give you an idea of what the overall energies are going to be like this week, what you can expect, so that you can navigate them or at least understand why things might be a certain way for you. Awareness is key after all. So I hope you're well. A few things before I start though, which are quite key, is that we have now entered a 2-week eclipse window. So what does that mean? Well, it started with the new moon eclipse at the weekend, and it's all about accelerated progress, okay? And there's going to be a full moon eclipse at the end of August. That's the 2-week period. And always after a new moon, there's this period of 2 weeks, which is a really good time to sort of set your intentions, take action, manifest, that sort of thing. But when it's in an eclipse window, it's more heightened. There's more possibilities. There's also it can also feel a bit rough, the ride. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that doorway has now opened, which is a good thing. But also to say, there may be days, including days this week, where you wonder what sort of a ride you're on. Okay, so just be aware of that. It is positive. It is all about manifestation, things slowly being revealed, asking you to really trust and get in alignment with the flow of what your soul wants you to show up and do, which might seem completely new and different. And there's something around not coming full circle, but finding you're doing something completely new that feels completely new, but actually you may have done it before, which sounds funny, but it may well be that you've done it before earlier in your life and it's coming back round to be looked at again, maybe in a different way. So yeah, the powers of manifestation are really increased over the next 2 weeks. Change is incoming for most of us. It is positive on the whole. You could end up being on a new path. Okay, so that's the next 2 weeks to give you an idea of the next 2 weeks. I'll be talking more about it generally. And then this week is the start. So this week is kind of the first week of it. And the new moon started us off with, what parts of our lives do we want to reform? And those parts were being shown to us. Okay, so anything that wasn't feeling quite right was being very much highlighted. Could be relationships, could be a relationship with yourself, it could be your career, your business, all sorts of things. And then this 2-week gateway is saying, look, what do you want to change? And this, as you change these things over the next couple of weeks, this is what you're going to be focusing on in the next 6 months as well. Okay, and this week is full of accelerated energy for reaching your highest potential, or starting to reach your highest potential. You may well do it this week, but I think it's also about laying the foundations and the seeds. And in fact, some of you will have already laid the foundations and the seeds, and it's just time to get on with it, to be honest, because quite often we're our own worst enemies, aren't we? And our ego can get in the way and tell us we can't do something when we can. So let's go into a little bit more detail about this week. No doubt I'll be talking more about it again next week and in the interim. But my advice to you is, my suggestion to you is, how are you going to work with these energies? Because they are so transformational that it would be a shame to ignore them. And I think if you ignore them, change might happen anyway, but it might not be in the way you want it to change, or it will always be for your highest good, but it may happen in a way that, is not how you wanted it to happen. So think about that as well. So try and be a bit more conscious about it. Try and be a bit more deliberate about it. Okay? And most of you know which parts of your life need changing. I know I do, so I'm sure you all do. Right, so sorry, I've waffled on a bit before actually getting to channeling. But some of this was channeled anyway, just not in the usual way that I do it. And it gives you a good idea of what's upcoming, right? So from now to the end of October, really. And then, of course, we move into the very spiritual month of November. So let me go into this week a bit more. Okay. Hello, everyone. So yes, we're here with you again today. Welcome. Alwyn has mentioned a lot already about what's going on. So yes, that's basically there's no real need for us to say much more. It is an excellent couple of weeks to really set in motion the changes you wish to make, conscious changes rather than ones that might be made for you. Really, by now you should really know what needs changing. And yes, it's scary to make those changes, but if you do, then we are absolutely certain that you'll feel happier and more relaxed and relieved, and also more good things will come your way because you will be making space for more positive things. You will be giving a positive message to the universe, to your guides, that this is the change you're wanting to make, and they will support you and bring in more things which are in alignment with that change. We hope that makes sense. This week is the first week of the eclipse window. It may well feel quite intense really from now to the end of October, but this week as well. Right, we'd like you to do a review if you haven't done it already and see where it is things are out of balance. You'll know them within your heart. It may well be you need to move out of your head space into your heart space to do this review. Take some time, take 5 minutes, it's not long, right? And then step into the energy of sort of Emperor, divine masculine. We talk a lot about divine feminine, and of course that is on the rise and it's very important, but you also need your divine masculine to help you take the steps, right, to take action. It's more of a fiery, get on with it energy. Okay, so imagine you're bringing that in. And he, this is in the tarot, this energy is represented by the Emperor, and he's not a get out of my way, I'm going to do it anyway sort of energy. He is a considered energy, is a conscious energy. He is the divine masculine, not just somebody trying to get somewhere at the expense of others. So bring this in if you can. Also, we're seeing seeds you've already planted, thoughts you've already had, starting to really come further into your consciousness, really starting to take shape. Really, now you can take the step to meet that thought, if that makes sense. So, for example, you may have planted a seed about wanting a relationship to change, and you may have taken some action or asked for some help, and you can start to see things changing now, things growing in a more positive direction. Or if they're not growing in a positive direction, you're being shown for sure that perhaps that's not the right relationship, or there's more work needs to be done, right? But this is all for your own good. Or it could be a job you're stuck in. You could be stuck in your business. Right, now is the time to become unstuck, and it's all possible. The energy is off the chart for creating what it is you wish to create, but only if it's in alignment with your soul, with your intuition, with your highest good. All right, if you're still ignoring things and putting things in boxes, so what we mean by that is you might think, right, I'm concentrating on my career or my business, but this part of my life, my personal life's not quite right. Okay, well, I'll just put that bit over in a box somewhere and I'll just concentrate on my business and my career, right? Which sounds okay. But actually it's not, because if your personal life is out of alignment and not happy, that will filtrate through to your business and your career. It will hinder your progress for sure. And actually the stuff that's in the box is the thing that really needs to be looked at. You know, we're all really good at looking at or working with the things we like to work with or that are easier to work with. It's a bit like at school, you know, you concentrate on the subjects you really like and you're really good at, and you ignore the ones that you're not so good at or you don't like, right? Well, it's a bit like that now. You need to be concentrating on the bits you don't like or making you feel unhappy, and we cannot actually stress enough how important that is, because it will have a really, really big impact on everything else. So, don't put things in boxes. Don't shove them away into a cupboard and hope they'll be gone. They need to be looked at. And if they're not looked at this time, they'll be coming back bigger and brighter and bolder, and perhaps not in a way you would like them to come back in for you to look at again. All right. And we focus a little bit here on the negative because we want you to know how amazing this next 2 weeks is for you to clear all of that. It's not a case of you sitting there and spending hours going through it. You already know what it is you're blocking away. Okay, so let's get it cleared. And work, and then you'll start to see things changing altogether. But if you've already done a lot of that work and you're feeling good, quick, this week is the week to get going. This week is the week to manifest and really, really bring in what you want. Okay? As with all change, it can be scary and it can be hard, but it will be worth it. All right? So take great care of yourselves, and we will be back again next week. So I hope that made sense. I think they went on a little bit about putting things in cupboards. Something I'm quite good at sometimes. So be looking in those cupboards. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. And this week is really powerful for bringing in what you want and making those changes. And if you're stuck, if you need some extra clarity, you know where I am. The Akashic Records are great at clearing blocks that have been there for years or been there for lifetimes, or some simple advice and guidance from my guides and healing can also be very spot on and just exactly what you need. But whatever you decide to do, have a great week, and I'll be back next week. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.